Hello, MCU fans. Today we're going to take a look at all the big reveals from D23 about Daredevil Born Again. I'm telling you, this series is everything we wanted it to be. I cannot wait to talk about it. So let's dive right in and see what we can find out. Don't forget, we have an August contest running all month long. Be a subscriber and leave a comment, and you could win a book or a steelbook. Best of luck. And we have a membership option with lots of cool perks, so you might check it out in case you're interested. All right, so I've done several videos on Daredevil's timeline, how it fits in the overall MCU timeline, as well as open questions from his show and the other Netflix shows. So you can check these videos out if you want more details. I'm going to touch on a few points here and there from these videos, but for the most part, these are a great resource if you want a deeper dive. All right, so speaking of, when is Daredevil's timeline, seasons 1, 2, and 3, in relation to the rest of the Netflix shows? You can see that it ran from January to February 2015 and then ended in October and November of 2017. Also, here's how you can see where it fits in the overall MCU timeline. Look at how nicely it integrates in there. And then here are the rest of the Netflix shows. You can see all of them finish before Infinity War, i.e. before the blip, although we will talk about a little asterisk on that as we get deeper in the video. So I just kind of wanted you to see where Daredevil fit in the overall MCU timeline. Also, where did things leave off? So at the end of Daredevil Season 3, you can see Matt and Foggy and Karen hanging out there. That was November again of 2017. Then we don't know what happened to Karen and Foggy, so we're going to have to learn from the series. But we do know from the Echo series that Daredevil was active during the blip. You can see him here. I believe the year is probably 2021. He took on Echo. So if you haven't seen Echo, it's definitely worth checking out because there's some important Kingpin and Daredevil timeline information in there. Then we saw Matt Murdock show up in No Way Home, and that was around the July of 2024 timeframe in the MCU. And then he shows up again in She-Hulk, which is in August of 2025. He's there with his costume designer, his outfit designer, defending him actually in court. Then we see him actually fighting in that new costume versus She-Hulk, again, August of 2025. And then here he is hanging out at the end of the series, September 2025, with She-Hulk. So that's the last we've seen of Daredevil. And notice the timing, September of 2025. I do believe Daredevil Born Again will pick up soon after this date, and we'll talk more about that as we get in a little further. So, sorry for some of these images coming up. They're obviously not great images. They're off the internet that people captured of things here and there from the trailer. So they're a little blurry, but at least you get some ideas of what's going on. But so we see that Matt has a new client, and his client is Hector Ayala, who we will learn is the White Tiger. And by the way, R.I.P. to the actor who passed away in 2023, not long after filming the series. So obviously, if his character is to come back next season, they would have to recast. So that's really sad. But nonetheless, it looks like he did a great job with what he gave us in this first season. So here we see maybe why he's in jail in need of a lawyer, because he tries to stop an assault in the subway, and that's him on the right punching a dude. And on the left, notice the big, tall guy in the brown jacket, tan jacket. He's the one that's going to come over now and try to attack Hector, and Hector pushes him aside, and unfortunately, right into an oncoming train. So yeah, not good. That may well be why he is in trouble. They don't really tell us in the series, but the fact that they showed, or in the trailer, I should say, but the fact that they showed this in close proximity to him being in jail kind of makes you think it was about this. Then it's kind of funny. Behind bars, he's explaining to Matt that someone's got to protect the streets. People need a hero. And you can kind of see it there just a little bit as Matt has got a small smirk going, oh, I know, more than you may guess. I know we need a hero. Nonetheless, Hector does don the White Tiger outfit. Here you see him putting on a glove. And he's got his famous neck piece there of the tiger. And then here he is with his mask on. And so here's an image from the comics, one of his first appearances, actually. And notice he has that tiger neck piece on. The mask has obviously changed. And then also, this is kind of interesting. There is a second White Tiger who's actually his niece, Hector's niece. Here she is in the comics. And she kind of got a shout out, believe it or not, in Jessica Jones Season 1, because Jessica did not want to represent Luke Cage and said, I'm giving you the name of a top-notch private investigator, Angela Del Toro, reasonable rates, she says. Well, Angela Del Toro, at least in the comics, is that female White Tiger. So This never went anywhere. They never did anything with that. But you do wonder, are they hinting at both her uncle as well as Angela are part of the MCU now? That'll be interesting. Maybe she'll show up in the second season. So, all right, then we shift to a bank robbery in progress. I want to call out that it's the New York Mutual. That'll be important in just a minute. So you see the burglars coming in, armed with shotguns, and one of the people they're holding at arms there is, believe it or not, Kamala Khan's dad. I know it's a little hard to see with these images, but yeah, that's him. That's Yusuf from the Miss Marvel series. So the reason I brought up that it's in New York is obviously the Khan family lives in New Jersey, but presumably he either works at this bank or is investing at the bank. They don't really say in the trailer, at least, but in the The Marvels movie, notice Yusuf is saying that's why you want to invest in index funds rather than in individual stocks. Of course, both a Roth IRA and 401k are important for tax purposes. So he's basically trying to sell services to the people in the space station. But that's why I wonder if he works for the bank, because he certainly seems like someone that understands investing. But what I really love is this makes the MCU seem so connected when you have little appearances like this. It's not a major cameo, but it's a very cool one nonetheless. So clearly they picked the wrong bank, though, because here you see this masked dude putting a gun right to Matt's head. You know it's not going to go well for that dude. So they don't really show the fight in the trailer, but they show the aftermath. And Yusuf is saying, "What type of lawyer are you?" Which, of course, we all know the response, right? A really good one. So a nice callback to No Way Home when he showed himself to be a really good lawyer. All right, so also we see Foggy and Karen. This is really the only shot of them in the trailer, but at least they're there. There was, some rumors going around that maybe they weren't even going to be in the show. So I'm glad they are. In fact, here, I believe this is a behind-the-scenes shot of probably the same scene of them standing there, and then notice Josie's kitchen. Josie's in Hell's Kitchen. So that's really cool. So again, I just don't know how long they're going to be in the series. I hope they don't get killed off right away. That would be obnoxious, but at least they're back, so that's cool. All right, so then we get another very welcome return. Matt is shoved up against some lockers. You can tell he's not happy. And who is doing it? Well, that would be Frank Castle, the Punisher. Yeah, baby. Here's a better picture. You can see he's looking good, man. So glad to get him back. Then Matt says, "Do you mind dropping the hatchet?" And that's when we see that he's holding a hatchet. Oh, my word. And then the scene ends with the Punisher pretty much seeming to swing at Matt with the hatchet. Now, my guess is he doesn't hit him with it. He probably embeds it in the locker. But I want to know why he's so mad at Matt. That is interesting. We'll have to see what's going on there. So, okay, when was the last time we saw the Punisher? Well, his final season ended in May of 2018, so right before the blip. And he's the one I was alluding to that has an asterisk next to everything finished before Infinity War, because we then get a 3 months later epilogue. So we're talking, June, July, August timeframe. So I'm pretty sure he did not get blipped, and yeah, that means he was kicking some butt during the blip. I really hope they bring that up. I mean, what a cool idea to think that he was around when half the world vanished and all of the people wanted to take advantage of that. I'm sure there was tons of looting, all kinds of problems. So maybe this scene right here is him, taking care of business during the blip. Let me know your thoughts on that, but I'm pretty sure he was not blipped. All right, so then we also see another familiar face. This one is behind bars, and yep, it's Bullseye. So cool, so awesome that he's going to be back. I don't know if he'll play a role in the first season, or I should say the first part of the season. It's really going to be 2 9-episode portions of a season. So we're going to get the first 9 in March of 2025, and then the other 9 sometime. They haven't told us yet. But if you remember, the last we saw Bullseye was at the end of Daredevil Season 3. He had broken his spine, so he's being operated on here, and then you see the little Bullseye logo in his eye. That was really cool. So now that adamantium has seemingly been found on the Tiamat, the Celestial in the ocean, is he actually being given an adamantium spine, just like in the comics? Oh, man, that'd be sweet. Fingers crossed, right? Then we see Fisk. Fisk obviously plays a huge role throughout this, and he seems to now be the mayor at this point. I don't remember in the trailer anywhere where they said that he is the mayor, but he's certainly acting like it. He's standing over New York, looking down on it, kind of like Daredevil used to do it. So that's kind of funny. But yeah, I believe he is the mayor at this point. And in fact, it looks like Matt is not too happy about it, because as he's walking through what I think is a political campaign because you can kind of see the signs in the background somebody's holding up. I'm guessing that's Fisk for mayor signs. So either the series is going to have flashbacks to Fisk running for mayor, or maybe he's already mayor. But if you remember in Echo, and Echo's present day was in May through June of 2025. They were talking about the New York City race for mayor. And of course, we had the Kingpin looking intently at it when they said, that's what the poll is telling us. It could be anybody's race. So now remember, we saw Matt in She-Hulk in September of 2025, and then here's Kingpin in June of 2025. That's why I'm thinking the series is going to pick up around November timeframe of 2025, which, by the way, in real life is the mayor's race in New York, so it works perfectly. So we're either going to see him running or already being mayor. So maybe it's in early 2026. All right, so we see Kingpin is still with Vanessa, and they did bring back the original actress. I think there were rumors that they weren't going to, but obviously they did now with the reshoots. And here they are celebrating together. I suspect that is some very expensive champagne. But even though he's with Vanessa, seems like he would be calm, right? Nope. We definitely see some rage because that's him just demolishing somebody. So, yeah, we're definitely going to see the violent side that we're used to from the Netflix shows, I suspect. Then I love this shot. We see several different Daredevil masks. Notice the one in the middle, that would be the one from She-Hulk that he wore. And then at least one of the red ones are clearly one that he wore during the original Netflix show. I want to know about that one on the far left. What is that? Like, is it kind of silver colored? Very interesting. But it's just fun to see them all lined up there. We see that Matt is still fighting in court, so no surprise. There'll definitely be courtroom dramas. And maybe has a new romance. This is another sign that Karen might not be around, or at least that they broke up. Of course, you remember he had the fling with She-Hulk. So that's when the first hint was going out that he wasn't with Karen anymore. I mean, maybe Karen's dead, maybe she's alive, but he's clearly not with her. And then we learn about our new villain. So clearly, he does not like the Kingpin very much. I know that's really blurry and hard to see, so here is a behind-the-scenes shot of that mural that's been drawn. Notice it's been signed down below by Muse, the Muse. And then here's another mural the Muse has done, basically mocking the Kingpin with the crown there. So that's why I'm thinking he must be mayor at this point, and a pretty bad mayor at it, at least some people believe. So here's the Muse right there. There's an image of him. Boy, does he look creepy. And in the comics, he looked pretty creepy. He is going to be really cool. Very, very violent villain. So goes well with what I suspect will be a mature rating for Daredevil series. And yeah, he does not like Kingpin, but obviously Daredevil doesn't like him because of the way he handles, killing people and causing problems in Hell's Kitchen. So Muse, at least in the comics, has not massive super strength, but still, he's very strong, a lot of fast speed, and then I'm going to call it imperceptibility. What it basically means is he's able to blur the senses of people around him so that they can't spot him. They can't either focus on him, can't see him. He's really fast. But also, if you think about it with Daredevil, that's a real problem for Daredevil. If he is able to blur Daredevil's senses, that's the only way Daredevil can even function. So very interesting. He will be a good villain for Daredevil. Here we see Daredevil using his billy club, flinging it out at the Muse, and then kicking him, punching him, and yeah, going at him. So it's going to be a good fight between those two for sure. But also, it looks like Matt Murdock himself gets to kick some butt. Look at his face there. He is not happy. He chucks this dude against the wall, grabs this other guy, flips him over and down. There's his shoes on the ground there, and then reaches down to pick up his now broken glasses. I'm sure he's not happy about that. So yeah, bring the rage, baby. We get Daredevil screaming, and we get Matt Murdock screaming. They both look pretty ticked off. Man, oh man, oh man, this is going to be a good series. And then, if as though that wasn't enough to make you excited, we now see that both Matt and Kingpin have to work together because they want to take down the Muse. But Matt is telling him, hey, if you step out of line, and Kingpin responds with, is that coming from Matt Murdock or your darker half? Showing us that for certain, the continuity from the original Netflix shows has stayed intact because remember, Kingpin knows who Daredevil is. So then Matt just gives him that look, that ticked off, seething look. And Kingpin just laughs in response. Oh man, These two, cannot wait to see them as frenemies in the series. In fact, I can't wait to see all of them back. It was great. They all took the stage at D23. They look very happy to be back. I think this show is going to be amazing. So let me know your thoughts. What do you think? Are you excited? What do you like? What don't you like about the series? Let me know all your thoughts. You know that I read and respond to all of them. So don't forget, August contest, be a subscriber, leave a comment, win a book or a steelbook. And then there's that membership option in case you're interested. And then I always like to bring up the Discord. Here we are talking about Daredevil Born Again. In fact, this is a cast list video that someone posted. So there's 1,600 people on the server across the globe. So conversations 24/7, and you can bet that the conversations are very active around this time because so much going on in the MCU. So I will leave a pinned comment so that you can join. And also, if you don't mind, like this video, subscribe if you haven't already. You can check out more content, and we'll all continue to enjoy the ever-growing, the ever-changing Marvel Cinematic Universe.